Good morning, welcome to the Professor Maima Show. Hope you are doing well wherever watching me from around the world. Please subscribe, share and like this video. So, the Kenya Kwanza government came into power in Kenya. Kenya is a country in East Africa with over 50 million people, and we got our independence from the British in 1964. So now our president, President William Samoei Ruto, has been going around the world traveling. In fact, he's among the most traveled presidents. I think he's going to beat the record of, is it Mugabe? Mugabe, for the young Gen Zs, was the president of Zimbabwe. He's now late. He ruled Zimbabwe for many years after it got independence from the white people who are in Zimbabwe. And him, as Mugabe and his wife were traveling the whole world, many countries. So I believe our president is going to beat his record of having traveled, isn't it? That's what I'm talking about. Kenya colonized again. Kenya colonized again. So our president Ruto President William Samoei Ruto has been traveling around the world looking for money. In fact, people are saying he's going around begging with a begging bowl. I don't know, money for infrastructure, money even for medicine. So he's just going around the world begging for everything. Then you ask yourself, what's going on? Because all this, yes, he's going around to beg for money, but on the ground we are not seeing anything. They said they had gotten some money from the Americans under Biden to build this super highway. I think it's 8 lanes highway from Nairobi to Mombasa, which is good. But you see now the problem in Kenya is that they don't look at priority. The priority maybe should have been, first of all, a SGR that is stuck here in Naivasha. This is an SGR, a standard gauge railway that comes from Mombasa to Nairobi. It's stuck somewhere in Naivasha. Instead of going all the way to our Kenyan border with Uganda, and then Uganda brings its own SGR, and then also together with the one for South Sudan, and then also Tanzania, so that East Africa things can improve transport-wise, goods and industrialization. They want to beg money for a project that won't happen because President Trump now is saying American first, isn't it? That's what I'm saying. Kenya colonized again. Because if you are to ask yourself, we're always going to borrow money outside there. Yet, we have everything that we need here. You see, the Tiger nations at independence, you have heard this story all over in your history. That's South Korea, Thailand, I don't know, is it Singapore? All of them were at par with Kenya. We are agrarian, we are just getting from independence. All of them were under the British Empire. And someone should do research. How Britain, just a small island, colonized a whole continent like Africa. That should tell you a story. So now, we are at the same level with them. But now we cannot compare to those Tiger nations I've named, because they are into artificial intelligence, they are into industrialization, they are into manufacture, the young people are doing serious digital things. I don't know, it's called coding, jobs that earn millions of shillings. But here Kenyans youth, they don't have jobs, and the ones who are on digital, some of them are into I don't know, into crime. They're into calling people online. They call you, I don't know what, hacking people's bank accounts. You see, no, it's just criminality. While the youths in Asia are doing great things online, whatever they are doing, coding, things that develop the country. Because AI, it's called AI, artificial intelligence. It's going to be big, isn't it? So now I was asking myself, we have everything we need here. First of all, you have the land. That's number one. We have the natural resources, that is the lakes, rivers, mountains, wildlife. You have minerals that you have not explored because of corruption and what else? It's called what? Poor leadership. They don't know how we can use our minerals, because the people who are there, they want to steal. So there's no way they're going to ensure that these minerals that are found in Kenya help the country. Someone wants to do a deal with a foreign company, it comes, drills the minerals and goes away and is given his cut. We are so messed up. God needs to help Kenya. So, and then another thing, we have the human resource. We have skilled, unskilled, uh, uh, people with education, school dropouts, because education is expensive here in Africa. Instead of making it free so that you have educated people, they don't want that, isn't it? Then you have another factor is you have the youngest population in the world. Majority of Africans, over, you can talk even over 80, okay, 60% of Kenyan, of youths in Kenya, of people in Kenya are below 30, 60%. And in the next 10 years, it's going to be even 70. So that the majority, isn't it? So now, if you are to convert Kenya into one, it's called one agriculture, it's called one shamba. And then you do value addition, you do industrialization, manufacture. And then after that, you move on to retail, like these malls of ours. We have very many malls here in Kenya. They're like museums where people go to take photos of themselves, selfies, I don't know. What if these so-called malls were to sell made in Kenya? Clothes, maybe shoes, I don't know, jackets, bags. It can be endless, made in Kenya. So many things, even these cups that we import from China can be made in Kenya, ceramics, because those are good. People like clay cups, things that are made from ceramics, not these plastics that are imported from China because they're cheap and people are poor in this country. People survive on less than $1 per day, something like that, isn't it? So now, if people do what I'm talking about, will we need to be going to beg to the white man, the Mzungu? We call here white man a Mzungu. Will we be going to beg from the white man? I doubt so. That's what I'm saying. Kenya colonized again. We have stopped to think because our leaders are not there to lead. They want money. So this is my thinking. African leaders, more so Kenyans, they go to borrow money outside there. They say a road, let's say this superhighway, they are talking of crazy money, $5 billion, 500 billion. But the actual amount maybe can even be less than that. And then they tell the contractor, you get your share, we get our share. So everything is about making money. And then the interesting thing, this road will be run by the investor for the next 30 years. You see, we cannot even own anything. The SGR is still under the Chinese. They gave us a loan, and then they are going to run the SGR to recover the loan. You see, that's what I'm saying. Kenya colonized again. We cannot really think for ourselves. We cannot even come up with ideas. We have many young people who are unemployed. We don't want to engage them. Go to the rural areas in Kenya, where I come from, Western Kenya. The poverty rate is just out of this world. People are poor, yet they have the land. The problem is the rainfall. The government cannot come up with a strategy to do irrigation, rainwater harvesting, boreholes. In fact, boreholes and I don't know, pumping water from the rivers. We have scientists. All this money they steal and hide outside. You know, Kenya, the amount of money that has been stolen and hidden outside can even reach 2 trillion Kenya shillings. That's over, we're talking of, in fact, it's more. It can reach even 10 trillion. That's 100 billion $100 billion have been stolen in Kenya for the last 10 years, and it's outside there. So if you were to get a strong leader, he or she will make sure that money comes to Kenya to do what I'm talking about. And in 5-10 years, Kenya will be like Sweden, with free medical care, with free education, with the top-notch infrastructure, with the people who believe in themselves, who don't look down on themselves. You know, here in Kenyans, they have such low self-esteem that a Mzungu white man can come to Kenya who's poor, wear slippers, and be allowed to enter a bank. The same thing if a Kenyan who is educated but unemployed would wear slippers to go to a bank, he will be chased away. We have such low self-esteem. I think in the whole of East Africa, the people with the lowest self-esteem are Kenyans. We don't speak our mother tongue. We're teaching our children to speak English. Yet, if we teach them to speak mother tongue, Kiswahili, more so, will preserve our culture, will preserve patriotism. But because we have, even look at Nigeria, they have their problems. But any educated Nigerian, whether they have lived in America or England, are proud of their, it's called mother tongues, Yoruba, Igbo, you name them. But Kenyans are the people with the lowest self-esteem. That's what I was thinking. People need to teach their children mother tongue. Whether you are intermarriage, let the children learn one language, whether it's from the mother or the father. English, they can learn in school. Kiswahili, they'll learn when they're playing with their friends outside there, isn't it? That's what I'm saying. Kenya colonized again. We need to up our game, depend on ourselves, our infrastructure, our industries, everything. That's what I'm talking about. So this is the Professor Maima Show. I want to pray for you watching me, that you have a long life, your dreams become reality, become rich and prosperous, not only you, your children, grandchildren, and all your generations. I pray for myself to be rich and prosperous. I pray for Kenya to be rich, prosperous, and with wise leaders, and also peaceful, because we need all that peace for Kenya to develop. So I want to thank you who watched me, and as I always say, Gwaheri ya kuonana, Gwaheri.